So the main things I just wanted to know was how you felt about the ban list in terms of like how it impacts, I guess, like the decks that it meant to impact. Like, does this ban list properly affect Evil Boo? Does this ban list properly affect Satan City? I guess we could start with Evil Boo. Do you think that limiting Bobbity like heavily affects the deck?
Um, Honestly, it's really hard to tell because we got so much new support at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think it might actually, but not because of like Babidi itself, because you can easily, I think in theory, you could replace Babidi easily with like some other broken card of the new support, like I don't know, the forecast super rare or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think the main problem I see with Evil Boo right now is that they need so many deck slots for like removal. Like they need to play Freeze Goku like last set and or I don't know, Hyper Beam, energy absorptions and stuff like that. And I don't see how they find the space for all the new cards. Like I currently don't see how they fit four of the new super rares, which in my opinion like is the most broken card of the new
You're talking
support.
about the four cost, correct?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that addresses everything, and I think this one is like insanely broken. But I don't know, like, can they afford to play that when they are not answering the board? Because Kid Buu can do that. Like they just play it, swing at something, and they just freeze anything for free, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's a world where Kid Buu is just better simply because of the fact that he doesn't need to spend resources to slot in removal. Um, but we have to test that more. So yeah, I think with Babidi ban combined, I think Evil Boo might lose the edge to Kid Buu now, but not guaranteed. It's just
Just because,
yeah.
sorry, just because, like the support is good, but you think that the support is like maybe leans towards defensive game plans. Like if you're going to play a card like that new forecast SR, you want to be able to stun more consistently rather than, you know, try to KO for effects.
Yeah, yeah, it's kind of like I don't see how Evil Boo fits all of that in the deck, and like the leader doesn't help you to answer the board in any way, like unless you untap
Yeah.
energy to then use events. And I think too many decks now have two good cards that you need to remove, or that you need to stun or whatever, especially if you play against Giblet or something. And I just don't see how Evil Boo has the tools to do that now, with Babidi removed, so they can't even play the hand control game plan as good anymore. Um, so they lose their most oppressive tool, kind of, or to make it at least consistent. Yeah, so I think there's a world where it's just not good enough anymore.
I see. And where do you think you would put Evil Boo? Like if you had to play Evil Boo, where do you think it would go like on the or on the tier list? Like if you had to put it somewhere. Like you did your best to
Uh,
make the best version of that deck.
I think it's probably now going into tier two.
You think so? Like do you think it's worse
Yeah.
than like the new structure decks and stuff like that?
No, but in my opinion, tier one is like the absolute best decks in the format. So
I
like,
see.
let's say what is right now Buu and Haloku are like tier one,
Mhm.
and in my opinion, there's nothing else that is on the exact same power level. So even Broly or whatever else you want to say is, in my opinion, yes, they are all strong, but they are not on that level. So they would be also one tier below. And I don't see. I think
It's like a
Evil Boo
relative
will
tier
not
list.
be. Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think Evil Boo will be on the exact same power level as the best decks will be. So it's like one tier below them.
That makes sense. And you think if they had Bobbity, where do you think they would go? Or where do you think Evil Boo would be right now if it had Bobbity at 4?
I think if it had Babidi still at 4, it would still be it'd still be a tier 1, no question. Because then with the new super rare and stuff like that, then at least they have their main game plan. Like that's pretty much what they can do against every deck. They just play hand control, just play Babidi Buhan every turn, control your hand to 5. But they just can't do that anymore. So I don't think yeah, I think that actually kind of affects the deck a lot, at least the consistency of it. So yeah, I think with 4 Barbaries it would still be tier 1, very very likely.
I to be honest, I agree with you completely. But I kind of wanted to present to like maybe some of the arguments that I've heard online. One of the big ones was that the Buff Boo was a much bigger deal than the Bobbity. Do you think that's true? Like Bandai should have banned Buff Boo, or do you think it didn't matter? Maybe.
Yeah, the Buff Boo against Barbary thing is a very good question. So I also think that so the thing is, if you want to nerf Evil Boo, it kind of doesn't matter which one you hit because any of these hits affects the deck. But yes, I agree that Buff Boo is probably the reason why why the discard matters, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
discarding to 5, the reason why it was so oppressive is because Buff Boo existed and they just do the double striker combo and then have like multiple 30k swings before they even start attacking with the double striker. Um, so if they ban that instead, I think it could have probably been the better option because Kid Buu, as of now, also wants to play Buff Buu, and Kid Buu doesn't benefit as much from Babidi. So I think if you would have banned Buff Buu instead, there's a world where Evil Buu is nerfed enough because the discard, okay, sure, but he doesn't have the tools to pressure anymore. And Kid Buu is then kind of forced to play the new dual attacker.
I
Um,
see.
I think that would have actually made much more sense, like just from a deck perspective, because it still achieves the thing of nerfing one deck, and it forces the other deck to play the new card, which is a slightly weaker version of the thing you banned. Yeah,
True.
so probably it would have made much more sense to do that. I don't know, but it's Bandai, so
I think Bandai was just kind of scared of having like the like the discard engine of Bobbity Buhan. That was my impression of it. Was like even if we have like this ridiculous aggro card, if we're leaving like hand control in the game, like they're fine having aggressive cards. Like they printed, promo Goku and Namek. They're fine giving super aggressive dual attackers. Um, I think hand control is a unique thing in Dragon Ball, and I think hand control maybe. And I've had a lot of people disagree with me on this. Hand control is the only thing unique to Evil Boo, where there's lots of aggro decks. There's lots of decks that can swing many times. There's very few aggro decks that swing many times and don't leave themselves exposed at all. And I think the fact that you don't really have to like other aggro decks, like you play, set one, you play Raccoon and then Ginyu, and then you swing everything. And then Frieza was good because you could restand them, but before you were awakened, they were rested, you can contest board. Same with, if you're playing against Daima 1 or like Red Daima, it's the same thing if you're playing against you know, yellow Vegeta Daima, it's the same thing where these decks are aggressive, but you can contest. Whereas contesting Bobbity Buhan, one, they already ripped 2 cards out of your hand. Two, you need specific removal. And you're still probably awakening them anyways, because they're leaving their cards stood. I think that unique combination with being able to attack multiple times, I think that's what made it really strong.
Yeah, it created kind of a very unique toxic play pattern where even if you just think about like you're awakened and you have only Babadi Buhan in hand, right? Like you play Babadi Buhan, you swing with Buhan, and so they defend probably, right? So if
Hmm.
they're at 4, they give you 1 card, then you kill Babadi, they give you 2 more cards. You have a leader swing as well. They give you 1 more card. You restand leader, swing again. They give you 1 more card, and you draw 1 card. No, you actually, yeah, you drew 1 card as well. And if you awaken the same turn, you drew another card. So it's kind of like you draw 3 cards, and they give you 4 or 5 cards or something to defend that. And yeah, and you don't really care if your Buhan stays alive or not. Like he already ripped, I don't know, million cards out of his hand.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's that kind of is super toxic. I think they did it probably because of a fun uh thing. Like they banned it because Babidi just created like not fun experiences. Um,
yeah,
yeah, purely from a gameplay or like balancing standpoint, I think Buff Buu is probably the more reasonable ban. But I think people just hate Babidi. Like they just don't want to play against it. And so I can see both like reasonings why they did it.
yeah. I mean that makes sense. Um, so moving on, let's just talk about Pilaf for a little bit. Um, why do you think they banned Pilaf? I mean, I guess we know why they banned it. Like they explained it, but like, why do you think they chose to ban Pilaf and then nothing else from Saint City? Do you think that just banning Pilaf is enough to bring Satan City down, or what do you think?
Yeah, I think absolutely. Like I think, to be honest, I'm a bit disappointed that they only banned Pilaf and like limited Babidi and like did nothing else. So I would have liked to see something like a little bit more. Like honestly, I was kind of hoping for a Kefla unban or maybe even droids or something banned. Or like something more, but I see why it's only Pilaf because like everyone was crying about fucking Pilaf for multiple sets now. So it was like the most obvious ban. It doesn't have any alt arts. It doesn't have anything expensive. So nobody would get mad about banning Pilaf. So it just
Except
makes
for
sense.
the blue players, they're all a little bit peeved about
Yeah, but okay, come on, bro. Like, if any blue
it.
player seriously complains about Pilaf getting banned, man, nobody can seriously defend that take. Like, no, I'm sorry. Like, even if you play blue, accept that Pilaf deserves to get banned.
It's been like the best card in
Um,
the game since the game came out, basically.
yeah, I mean, I could have seen a world where where they did like, honestly, I would have kind of preferred if they ban Babidi and just limit Pilaf to 1 and then ban Final Hope Slash or something like that. I think that would have also been an option. Um, but either way, banning Pilaf, I think, is enough to nerf Haloku. I know a lot of people disagree with that, but in my opinion, Haloku already kind of struggled in set 6 because so many decks they got every single deck gets so much more oppressive tools every set, and Haloku gets nothing. And now they even lose their most consistent recycle engine. Um, yeah, I don't see how Haloku survives now. Like, I genuinely think people will stop playing it completely.
Even, I mean, would you say it's also like a tier 2 deck at this point? Or do you think it's
Uh,
even worse?
Yeah, honestly, I think it's even worse. Like the thing is, the skill cap of the stack is like insane anyway. So I think like the average Haloku player will not be able to pilot the stack without Pilaf. Like no chance, no chance. Especially now, if you see the new Kitbu support, like the Self Awakener, that's basically like a Janemba 20k body.
Yeah, and then
So
it just
he,
pops your Videl.
yeah, yeah. So they just play that
Card is
instead of
so fucked.
Janemba, and now the matchup that you're supposed to beat with Haloku, now they completely destroy you. They play the 4 cost, rest your entire board, all of your sharpness, all of your Hercules, instantly rested. Like, no chance that you survive this. No chance. Like, I would say Haloku is cooked, like, completely.
I was gonna
I don't know.
say
Maybe I'm crazy, but I don't think this deck will do anything this set. No chance.
there's a lot of new cards that feel like they were specifically geared to like fuck Haloku.
Yeah.
Um, Green got that 2-drop hit, which pops all 1-cost cards. So if you're playing a deck like there's, obviously Giblet can run it, but even Nameku, even Green Vegeta and Broly, all of these decks can run this card to just pop every
Yep.
1-cost that you have. I think the fact that Evil Boo is no longer kind of ripping apart hands, I think it lets red decks come back. Because I think that was the
Yeah.
only thing really holding a
Definitely.
lot of red decks was just, okay, I want to self awaken. Boo rips my hand apart and then kills me because I self awakened. So
Yeah.
now that those decks can come back, those decks kind of provide another check against Satan City, because Satan City wasn't great against Daima 1 and it was fine against Beerus, but like these weren't easy matchups,
Yeah.
in my opinion. And then obviously, if you fight World Tournament, they have that 1-2 cost event, which just bottom decks all 1 and 2 costs. Just
Yeah.
straight the fuck up for 2 mana. Just your entire board, all your Vidals just goes away, which is insane. That card is insane. And then obviously Broly exists. Broly is strong. Yeah, I can actually kind of see it, like how like Satan City was already kind of struggling. I think a lot of people for set 6 kind of were under the impression, and I think there's still a lot of arguments to this, that Satan City was the best deck that in set 6. I don't know if I was leaning towards Evil Boo being the best,
Yeah.
but
Same.
they're very even. I really do think they're very even, because it forms a triangle at the top where I think it's like Broly is strong into Satan City, Satan City is strong into Evil Boo's strong into Broly.
Um. Yeah. I stopped playing Haloku after set 5, basically. In set 6, I didn't play it at all. I think, I don't know. In my opinion, in set 6, Evil Boo was clearly the best deck. Um. And I also kind of learned to beat Haloku quite consistently. So in my opinion, like, if you're like a top 1% player in the world and you grind Haloku for fucking 2000 hours, sure, maybe it was the best deck in set 6 then, but for the average player, absolutely not. Like, no, I'm sorry. Like, the
Yeah.
average player will not be able to pilot Haloku on a level that makes it so good. And now, even now, like, definitely not happening anymore. Yeah, so uh, yeah, I don't think this deck would do anything.
Um, I guess the last thing I'll say is, even if, I mean, the one thing that I saw a lot of Halo Coup players say, and my brother is like he likes to play Halo Coup, but he has a very weird style where he's very much just a super aggressive player. Like he gets Final Hope and he gets Videl, and he just loops that, and either he kills you out of aggro, or you can control him to some degree. Like I do think that play style is still valid. You could still definitely do that, and I think there's a lot of merit to that, especially in a format where, okay, black might be a problem. I think a lot of yellow decks, especially like the more stun focused ones, like that could be difficult for them to deal with. Maybe if you just decide like, yeah, sharpeners are cool, you can kind of kill my board. I'm just gonna swing with Videl 3 times this turn and call it a day.
Um. Yeah. I don't know, because
Sounds like
keep
you
in
don't
mind,
agree.
I mean, yes, that is a game plan. I know you can do that, but if you do that while not answering the opponent's board because you say, I don't care, I just want to swing with Videls, uh, I think you die. Because, like, if they, let's say yellow plays like a 4 cost, like the new super rare,
Mm-hmm.
right? So your board is empty and they draw a card, right? So, okay, you don't bottom deck it because to bottom deck it, you would need to build a whole board again or play Hercule and stuff. And you don't want to do that, right? You want to swing face. Okay, so my Kid Buu survives. Okay, next turn, I can play the 5 cost, uh, kill one of your thing, freeze the other thing, freeze one of your energy, have a 4 cost and a 5 cost, and you still wanna go face again, with one less energy? Hmm. I don't know about that.
Or you could just play the Buff Buu and then pop it and then rest whatever else they have on board.
Yeah, also that. So
I don't know what they
I
were thinking with
don't
that
know.
SR. That SR is fucking crazy.
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Sure, you can go full aggro with Videl, but I think ignoring board the entire time is just not valid because you will just die before you kill them. Very, very simple.
That makes sense. I guess the last thing to cap this off is I figured, do you think that this ban list accomplished kind of what it needed to in order to balance the game?
Um, that is a good question. Honestly, I can kind of see that it doesn't. So what I think happens is yes, they killed Haloku probably, or like in general, like blue grind decks now to a certain degree at least. But I think there are other blue decks like Kid Goku or Daima Vegeta probably care less about Pilaf than Haloku does, I think, because the mini Vegeta has like enough draw engine anyways. Like I don't know, he can just play the 5 cost, draw 3 cards. Like he doesn't need Pilaf that much, I think.
I mean, he
Um,
often gets into a game state where you have like 12 cards in hand and Pilafs are just bricks. There's just like 10Ks. But
yeah,
even then,
exactly,
for
right?
finishing, it definitely comes in handy. One thing that I noticed was that when you like with the 5 cost secret rare, the double striker, like you always kind of just want to have like, okay, just get a final hope slash in the drop, and then when you need to kill, you play Pilaf, and then every single now at this point you just have to hold that final hope slash in your hand for like the whole game if you want to like actually use it or just like draw it at some point. Like you just don't have this toolbox anymore that like enables certain plays. Or like the early defensive
Yeah,
stuff where you're like looping Pilafs to try and like stall life against, Broly or whatever. It was still good.
yeah. Yeah, I think Blue will struggle this set a little bit. Like we will have to see, but I think banning Pilaf like it makes Blue a lot less consistent and a lot harder for them to play defensively and grind. And honestly, I think what happens now is Yellow will become the best color in the game, like by far, and it won't be close. I think. Like it will be either Kid Buu, maybe even Fat Buu. I don't know. I never played this deck. I never looked into it, but I don't know. I saw some of the new cards that kind of work with it. So it's
There's
either
the
Kid
the
Buu or
two
that.
mana 30K. I forget what the guy, but there's the
Oh
one
yeah,
card where if you have a
yeah.
Babidi, you could just play it for 2 mana, and it's a 30K 10K combo.
Yeah, that one. Yeah. So they play the new Babi that turns your stuff into blockers, and then they can special the other guy for 2 and like do other things. And yeah, um, yeah. So generally, like the new super rare for yellow, in my opinion, is the most pushed card we got in a very, very long time. And I think what it will come down to is which of the yellow decks can abuse this card the most.
Hmm.
That's pretty much what I think it will come down to. And on second place is probably green, with either Broly or Giblet or something like that. I mean, also kind of depends if we get the Giblet errata or not. If we don't get the Giblet errata, then I think Giblet could be at the top. Maybe not tier 1, but like very close, very very close. Yeah, that's
I
kind
think
of
the
my
Gimlet
prediction.
errata we're for sure getting it. I think the Japanese is very clear. The second the client comes out, people are just gonna be like, "Oh, it doesn't ramp," and then that's it. I think that's
Yeah,
how it's
I
gonna
mean,
go. It's just
yeah.
kind of Fash being annoying on purpose again. Honestly, that's how I see it. It's just Fash. He's just like, "Oh, this is what it says. Oh, it's not what they mean. Fuck it." Ruling. And then it totally fucked up the store champ today. There was like 7 giblets and they were all just like terrorizing everybody with the fucking new ruling. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, we also play tested this. Like the thing is, and that's why I hate this errata situation so much. If we keep the current version where it doesn't ramp them, then they have actually a game plan against Kid Buu, and they can actually play Warm Greeting and remove the 4-cost super rare efficiently, and like they have a game against them. But if you ramp them now, your advantage kind of goes down by a lot of percentage points because ramping
Yeah.
them is basically like saying they draw a card.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same because they need to charge one less card. So it's kind of like +1 for them. So the whole point of you making advantage for each warm greeting that you're playing completely goes out of the window. Um, so yeah, I don't know. It kind of makes a difference between deck is broken and probably tier 1 and deck is kind of bad.
Yeah. I think I'm on the same page with you. Even with the uh even with the or without an errata, I still think that like it's a solid deck, but there's a lot of really strong stuff right now. There's a lot of strong stuff that's kind of giving it problems. Even with all of that. Like so without it, I think it's like a lot worse. I'm a Broly believer. I think that deck is fucking stupid. That deck's just gonna be a problem for a million years. But we're kind of running off topic a little bit. Um Interesting. Okay, so the ban list, I guess I guess the way I would see it is that the ban list helped, and then the new set just gave yellow so much shit that it didn't end up mattering.
Yeah, I think yeah, they I mean, we have to see, right? But I think, like, from what I see right now, is they just shifted the deck choices around a little bit, and now yellow will be clearly the most oppressive color in the format. When before it was like, okay, blue can kind of fight them, and now I think they can't. And now the question is there even anything that can fight yellow now, or is it simply
Piccolo can fight them.
completely? Oh yeah, I don't know. I've seen the Piccolo card.
Have you
Yeah, we
tested it?
no, not at all.
It's
Like
fucked
that's
up.
the
No, it's
thing.
actually fucked up.
Yeah, I can see that. There's so
It's
much stuff right now that could potentially be super good, and there's so much to test. So it will be very fun to figure all of this out.
I was gonna say like I am very much looking forward to this new format, just because I think for the first time in a while we have there's like 10 different decks that I need to like test. Like I need to see like figure out deck lists for like all of this bullshit. I think like the fact that like we have to like test Namek and Piccolo and Green Vegeta and like World
Yep,
Tournament and like all of this shit. I
yep.
don't
And
know.
Red Cell,
There's a
don't
lot to
forget
look
about
forward
that.
to. A lot of interesting builds. And then finally, is Bulma a good deck?
No.
Yeah, the deck. Okay, thank God somebody fucking said that deck is ass. I do not
Yeah,
understand.
I was reading all the black cards yesterday, and I was like, trash, trash, trash. Yeah, it's kind of
Yamcha.
okay. It has 10K, but yeah, honestly I don't see the vision. Like maybe I'm completely blind right now. I'm very happy to take the L if someone proves me wrong. But I was reading the cards, and a leader doesn't draw. No, I'm sorry, the deck is trash. I don't know.
Yamcha can't save it. I really like. Yamcha is obviously completely broken. That is all the deck has. The deck has Yamcha. Every
Yes,
other card
yeah.
in the deck is like they have a card that draws once per turn, but it's like a 3 cost battle card, and it draws like on swing, so it's not really like a great draw engine. Like it's not like Broly with the field or anything. But even then, Broly draws before it awakens. No, it's you run out of cards. The slightest amount of control. Like if you fight a yellow deck and they just like you play Yamcha into Bulma and then they just play the 4 cost Goku, you fucking lose. That's it. The game's over.
Um,
And you can't even
the leader
draw
doesn't
into
draw,
your
right?
solutions. You can't draw into more of them because that's it. You ran out of cards.
Yeah, and the leader doesn't draw, right? It just cycles
It doesn't
or
even
something.
cycle on the front side. It only cycles on the unawakened side. Once you awaken, your leader ability is just the restand and the combo.
And it also can't attack, right?
It can attack, so it's an aggro deck, but the leader can't attack. So you're like aggroing them from like 4 life minimum.
Yeah, and also I don't know if people are aware of this, but this is basically what I explain to pretty much all of my coaching clients is if you also don't attack you and don't draw, you make -2 every turn compared to every other deck. And
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know if people realize this because not attacking means your opponent doesn't need to defend, which means you go -1 compared to any other deck, and not drawing means you go -2. So please explain to me how a deck that does -2 every turn automatically against the default state, every other deck can be good. Please explain that to me. I don't see it.
Dude, people are believing this, dude. Vic believes it. He was like, "No, it's a good deck." I'm like, "How the fuck?"
I mean, the thing is, playtesting we have to show. Sure, maybe it can do something, but just from if you just look at it from a logical standpoint, how can you argue that a deck that does -2 we do anything? Like the support would need to be insanely broken to make up for that. Like the Yamcha would need to say draw 4 cards or something. I don't know.
Yeah, the Bulma's draw 2, discard 1. So there's the draw engine.
Yeah, okay, sure. Then you make up for the -1. Okay, sure. And what about the rest? I don't know.
There's no, it's
Uh,
not. No, we're on the same page. I think that deck is like ass. I think that deck is like less than Rogue. It's like shit tier. Like it's like borderline like in the same tier as like Blue Gohan and like TOP. Like the deck like these decks just do not work.
yeah, and also if your leader can't attack, right? So your whole like the whole dynamic of how you go for game with like three-way split and stuff completely goes out of the window because you're missing one attack. Like you need to play another attacker to actually try to kill someone. Like I don't know, this whole thing about leader not attacking is in a game like this terrible. Like it's
They need
such a
to give you
huge.
insane cards. Like I'm thinking the Piccolo could maybe make it, or the Shenron could make it work. But at the very least, the Shenron draws. Like you draw a card every turn. Honestly, if
Yeah,
if Bulma drew a card every turn on the Awakened side, I think it would be like a contender for a solid deck. Just because like the Yamcha really is that crazy. Like it's a very like on turn 4 playing a Yamcha and then dual attacking and then playing a double striker Bulma and then like drawing a card, like that's a crazy play. Obviously that's a super strong play. Um but like if they have an answer to it, you just lose. That's it. Like you just fall apart right away. It's like Blue
yeah,
Gohan.
and
Like, ooh, you can like set up aggro with extra cards if you awaken, and then they kill the extra cards that you, or they kill the cards you summon, and then the game's over, and that's it. It's very silly.
yeah, yeah, and Kid Buu just doesn't care. He just freezes whatever you play, like without any effort. And if he's at 5 energy, he plays the 5 cost 10k, removes your Yamcha, freezes your double striker, freezes one of your energy. Yeah, good luck, bro. I don't know. Thanks for giving me the exposure and stuff.
For sure, for sure. My 50 subscribers will. I'll tell them all to go
Hey,
follow
it's
you.
more than I have.
All right. Well, appreciate it. I'm gonna head to bed. I'll talk to you later.
Yep, yep. All right. See ya.